I'm Vanarex. Welcome to Amish Paradise. This is episode 22, the Hardcore Edition. We're going to go from the very start all the way to killing the dragon, and maybe a couple of extras thrown in, all in one episode. You can see here I'm generating the world. And there we go. Yes, my custom skin. I just love it. Quickly, let's go over the rules. There you can see the standard rules. Pure hard vanilla, no redstone, no bug exploitation, and no super bad cursing. The additional hardcore rules, though. No sleeping, no eating meat, no enchanting, and no potions. Oh my god. What's the strategy? Well, it's pretty straightforward. Stay alive, build some farms, eat some food, get more stuff. Get a little bit more stuff, make some stuff, and then go in there and kick butt. I'll try and point out each one as we go along, and I'm waiting for the world to continue generating. Started right on the divide between a forest and plains. Very nice start. Would have liked to have found some desert, but that didn't happen. Here we go. First thing, knock down a couple trees. I like birch. It doesn't drop apples, but I'm banking on using wheat the whole time anyway. What's nice about birch is you can harvest it from the ground. It's just easier to harvest. And then the always ever popular busting up some grass seed. Early on, when I'm not doing anything else, I'm trying to get some seeds. Or if I'm doing anything else, like here, trying to find some lake or an ocean. There it is up above us, up in front of us there. Hey, I'm just getting some grass seeds along the way. Alright, time to make some tools. I need to build a farm as quickly as possible. A wheat farm. So here, I don't have a bucket, I don't have nothing. I'm just going to find some open ground next to some water and plant some seeds. Pretty straightforward. And as soon as I got that taken care of, it's time to get underground because daylight's burning. Night'll be on us before we know it. So, real simple hole in the ground. I figured I'd make one underground instead of on a cliff or something like that, or build a house. I'm just like, I have to go underground anyway to build a mine. Why not just build the whole damn thing underground? More or less. Yeah, alright, got enough stone. Got me a furnace, make some tools. And go out and try and get some more grass while I still got a little time. Daylight here. Get that planted. Get my trees growing. Awesome tree farm. Look at that. 2 trees. Yay. And seal up for the night. And up to this point, I hadn't found any coal yet. So I'm like, oh, I got to work in the dark. So what was interesting, though, is how much iron I found early on. Look at that. 11 blocks of iron. Just like that. Amazing. No coal. Even more amazing. 12, 15. 21 blocks of iron. My first day's done. And I forgot the spiders are still mad at you, and I got dinged up a little bit here. That happens. More seeds. And searching around a little bit, I found a tunnel and found some coal at the start. I'm like, well, I'll just walk back in here after I get this coal. Maybe I'll get another coal seam, because 3 is not very much. And I walked all the way to the end, and nothing. Not a darn thing. I actually did end up making some charcoal to help me get my torch thing going on, because I'm like, coal, man, come on, it should be all over the place, and it's not. Here I've done all this digging, not one piece. So it happens, you gotta work around it. Now I haven't found any food yet. I can't eat meat. All I can do is eat veggies, so that's down to wheat and apples. Well, apples don't fall off of birch trees, so maybe that's kind of a bad choice, but you know, it just limited me in some ways. Birch was a bad idea and for a couple of reasons. So one, it didn't drop any apples, and that slowed me down some early on. But the other part is when it came time to build the ender farm, and you'll see that later on. Birch is a real bad choice for that. And there I got my first iron sword. It's the only iron sword I needed in the game. You're not trying to get experience. There's no point other than getting some string. That's the only mob you really need to kill, is to get some string from a spider. So I just avoid mobs as much as I can in this game. Not counting enders. Them. So there I am sealing up, and you're saying, why would I make one piece of glass? Well, because I don't have a clock, so I want to know what time it is. Well, here's the good old, is the sun out or not, with a little glass pane. And there you see I'm making my permanent wheat farm underneath. Yeah, the very first thing I made with iron was a bucket, and then a sword. And I needed that water underground. Yeah. Because I don't like going up there to grow my wheat. Animals can tear it up. And I can only harvest at certain times. Here, it's growing all the time. It's underground, it's safe, all of that stuff. Now, I did make a bit of a tactical error in here when I was digging around. Oh, I finally found some coal. Thank God. But one thing was I got to digging, and then I ran outside, and when I did, I got far enough away from where it was dark, and spider spawn, and you'll see that coming up here in a bit. There's the other half of the farm. I go with 8 dirt blocks wide and channel of water on each side. Seemed to work pretty good. And then I can double up one of these channels for the pumpkin farm as well. You'll see that later. Pretty straightforward stuff. And I was out of food at this point. I was close to starving, and I didn't even want to start into starving. So what I did was I just stood here and waited for the wheat to grow all day long till the last possible minute, hoping that I would get at least 3 pieces of wheat. And I got 4, which was awesome. And that was my first spread. I kind of screwed up there because I didn't torch my wheat field soon enough. And one night passed and the wheat didn't grow at all, or I wouldn't have even had this problem. So, small error there. Now, what sucks here was that I was not recording and a creeper blew up on me. Almost killed me. Well, it didn't kill me. I didn't get hurt, but holy mackerel. So it's just, you know, and then there's a spider where I screwed up the other way. You can see it got dark back there, and they let me do it. Now here I'm lighting everything up, but I'm also down in there getting gravel and that coal right there. So I'm saying make bow and arrows. And you got to get a bunch of gravel and turn it into flint. You'll see a flint farm in a little bit. But the other thing is I'm making good use of the terrain where it is. There's all this gravel here. I got to farm it out. I might as well turn it into my chicken farm. And so that's what I did. Just add in some stairs. That's always a good thing. In and out fast. I make all my hallways too wide. It's just easier to keep running when it's too wide. And there I am getting a bunch of gravel again. So get some more wood. Oh, the skelly's hiding underneath the wood. So. And waiting for the thing. The sleepless part is you kind of get this, develop this bimodal behavior. You know, when it's daytime, I'm out doing stuff up here, and then when it's night, I'm doing something on the house or mining or something like that. And then later on with the ender farm, you know, that can only happen at night. So I get bored and improve things. Just build the home up a little bit as we go. Now, there wasn't a lot of sand around, but it's real important for me to be able to see what the heck's going on outside of my house. So, especially outside of the door, don't want to get any nasty surprises. I build everything out of cobblestone, which is simple enough, but then I also make everything above ground have a bunch of glass in it so I can see what's going on outside. And I ran out of glass, so I filled it in with cobblestone. Yep. Get that chicken farm ready to go. And it's time to start mining. I'm only really targeting, I want lots of iron, diamonds, and coal. Now I use a little bit of redstone and a little bit of gold, so you need to get traces of that, but all the rest of it is just, and I use all the cobblestone. I use the cobblestone a lot when it comes to the Nether, because I want to build a safe passage there. Here I'm starting to build up my inventory room. This is my standard build, 4 high chests, lit from behind, and then I'll put crafting tables in the floor and furnaces on the other wall. At this point I've evolved using stone tools. I think one of the strategic mistakes I made in this game was I used stone tools for way too long. I didn't switch over to iron soon enough, and that slows everything down. Hey, baby zombie! So here I'm building my main mine shaft access to where I'm going to do deep mining. Again, it's a 2 wide stairway so I can run up and down real fast. Save some time. Finally found some chickens. Took them back to the chicken farm. I don't like chickens as a food source. They're either poisonous raw or they don't feed you as good as beef. Didn't really matter here. You'll notice I did kill some cows because I wanted to use their hides for signs on my inventory room. But the reason that I got chickens here is feathers and arrows. You don't want to try and farm skeletons. It's too damn dangerous to get all the arrows you need. The best thing to do is just to get a chicken farm going on. And there we go. I finally got enough iron for my first set of iron armor. And I think I did good enough in this game. I made a second set of iron, but I never really used it. So I did want to make a map. That's the only reason I got sugarcane. And there it is. Way overkill on the sugarcane. But, you know, you can never have too much. Now, I'm building my pumpkin farm, but I'm not ready to get pumpkins yet. I'm kind of getting there. All these mobs were hanging around outside the house from the night before, and it's raining, so they're not going to burn, so I just killed them all. And there's the cow hides that I use to make my signs, or, you know, whatever you call them. Changing the lighting around a little bit. I wanted to get the torches closer to the ground. Torches one up, the middle kind of doesn't get enough light and it doesn't grow as fast. And really even torches on the ground aren't that great either. So that's the main reason to find pumpkins, is to light things up better. And you can see I'm going back and forth. Yeah, birch, nah. I'd recommend black oak I call it, because dark oak is too hard to say. I'd recommend for wood either black oak or spruce, a real dark wood, because I use the wood on the ender farm. Yeah, nice. Find these lava pools, dump water in them, go grab the ore, and move on down. So the deep mining is, I'm not trying to do branch mining, I'm trying to just build one big, I just get it y equals 11 and go straight in front of me, and then I get as much as I need from caverns that I cross. And you know, here's like the world's smallest abandoned mine. But I got a couple pieces of string out of it, and you need string, a little string for the bows. You know, and that was easy enough. Plenty of spiders show up. I ended up building 3 bows. Ah, my first diamonds. Gotta love it. Diamonds! Yeah, baby. Yeah, here's a time lapse of the wheat growing downstairs. I was hoping by this time I would find some gold and could make a clock, but it hadn't happened. I hadn't encountered any gold, and I wanted to go exploring and find those pumpkins. First thing I did was I came across this village, which was really lame. They were all trying to sell me wheat or other things I didn't have any use for. And it's not something you can count on anyway in a game. So I'm hunting around. You can see my map. I ended up having to spend one night out in the wilderness. So I dug a hole and waited for sunrise. I got back on it. Traveled through some more of this forest, came out into the plains area, up in the northwest corner of the map, and there they were, some pumpkins. Yay! And I also found some donkeys. Hi, donkeys. At this point, I didn't have a leash, and it's not really central to what I'm trying to get done, but you can never have enough donkeys. Yeah. So I'm just trying to head back home. Trying to go as fast as I can because I can see the sun going down. And I'm mapping a little bit, heading straight back, but I did not beat sundown. I ended up finishing the trek back. I could have played conservative and just dug a hole for the night. And I got taunted with a couple Endermen there that I couldn't do anything about. But I decided to just run for it and try and run on home. I was that close. And I made it okay. Safe. There's the map on the wall. You know, I use the map here and I use it to find a stronghold, and that's it. Alright, so it's time to start working towards the Nether, and that means getting obsidian. And obsidian needs a diamond pick, so that was my first use of diamonds, was for a diamond pick. I got my 10 obsidian, found some gold that time, and finally made a clock. Clocks are invaluable when you're not sleeping. Oh, look out for that creeper. Yeah, they screw things up. That's what they do. Alright, so this is my flint farm. I'm sure there's plenty of ways to do it, but this one is so fun because you just jump stack all the way up to the build ceiling. Eat some bread because you'll be hungry by then. Look at stuff. It's always cool to look at stuff, and then you just dig down. And I notice I made this in the water, so there's no risk if I fall. And now that I got the flint, time to get some feathers, make some arrows, make some bows. And there's my loadout for going into the Nether. I use sand for markers. I didn't need to this time, but if I'm going to explore, I use sand. I was using wool for a long time, but it's too big of a pain in the ass to get, and sand works almost as good because it's so light colored. Speaking of color, this texture is a Sortex Vanver, and I like it a lot, and it's technically a mod, but it's not changing gameplay whatsoever. It's just nicer to look at, I think, and it's strictly for aesthetics. So it makes a good show. So here I am, into the Nether. Very first thing is I build a shelter for my Nether warp so it doesn't get knocked out of commission, and I got some place to hide from ghasts. So that's all made out of cobble, real resistant to explosions from gas. Now I just went for a quick look to look around because it was so easy, and bam, I got lucky right off the bat. There was a Nether fortress right there. Awesome. And it was so close. I didn't have to make any big curves or anything. I was just able to build basically a one-turn path all the way out to the Nether. Now you're sitting there and saying, wow, I spent a lot of time in the Nether building this safe path. But let me tell you, the Nether is a dangerous place. Essentially, without any buffs, no fire protection or anything, if you ever catch on fire, you will die. And that's the end of it. So building a safe path to go to and from the Nether fortress was just like, I'm going to do this. And you got to be careful digging the Nether, because that stuff will come out. You'll see a couple places where I try to dig down from me as much as possible, because if when I'm going into netherrack, because if lava gets on you, you will burn to death, and it's all over just like that. So fire really is your #1 worry in the nether. Here you can see I'm screwing up when I'm not digging below me, and then I'm like, duh, you dumbass. And if you can't dig below you, dig as far away from you as possible and be ready to turn around and run instantly. Or if a gas shows up and starts shooting at you. So the very first stone, I had to bridge this gap, and I didn't want to use netherrack. It's real stupid to do. I was using netherrack before. It's real stupid because it just blows right up and catches fire if a ghast hits it. So cobblestone's just awesome building in the nether. I suppose you could use nether fortress materials, but at this point I haven't gotten to a nether fortress, and I don't want to spend the time mining. And I'm getting, you know, when I run out, I just go do some deep mining and take the cobblestone from that, and it works just as good. So why use nether brick? And it's easy to see. It's just nice. That was a good haul. I got 13 diamonds off of that. And a very, I mined as far as I could. By this time I was using pretty much 100% iron tools. I wasn't using stone anymore. There's my tree farm I built. Birch, no. Got my pumpkins. Now I'm starting to build the walls on my safe path because I got it all figured out. So now I'm going to add the walls. So ground and stairs first, and then the walls. Build them too high. Sounds like overkill, but you know what? I've died too many times in the nether. And it's nice to have safe ground all the way there and back. So yeah, I spent a lot of time doing this, but I think it was well spent. So here I am. It's just a straight shot, and then one right turn, and I'm at the nether fortress. I only transited this thing a few times, so the amount of time I spent exposed as far as risk is minimal, but, or you know, it's probably overkill to build a safe path like this, but I've just been burned too many times, baby. So now it's time to go and explore this nether fortress. We're looking for a blaze spawner, because we need blaze rods to make ender eyes. And I found one, and there it is. I'm clearing it out. The blaze spawner's nice because it's real simple to control how fast they spawn. If you get within 12, they'll start spawning. And the main problem with blaze farms is that they're almost always exposed to the outer environment, so you want to seal it in some. Now this isn't an awesome, wonderful blaze farm, but I'm only supposed to be here for a short time. I don't want to make something fancy, and I just want to make sure that when they spawn inside, I can kill them and they can't run away from me and cause lots of problems. So, and here I'm making it a little bit safer outside too. So now that I got everything the way I want it, I pull the torches off of it, and then I just use how close I am to the nether farm to control the spawn rate. So when I'm in here farming the blaze rods, they're coming out, but as soon as I get more than 12 blocks away, they don't spawn anymore. Now I'd already got my 10. I wanted 10 blaze farms for 20 ender pearls. That's a little bit of overkill, but better safe than sorry. You need a minimum of 12 ender pearls to open the gate. But and that was it. I went ahead and did a little artwork because it was nighttime and I couldn't go outside, but there I've got my blaze powder. I only needed 20 of them. Time to make some iron tools and start building my ender farm. Now this, I'm sure there's more awesome ways to do this, but for me the idea is to have a small central tower that will be my safe house, and then a little bit of wall space, ground space with a wall around it, so the enders can get in but none of the mobs can. Now I went 10 out. That might have been a little bit too big. I probably could have gone just 5 or 6 out, But I wasn't sure, and I wanted it this size, so I made it. Come on, chicken. I hate chickens. Get out of my way. There we go. Yeah, so I kind of build out to the corners, and that also helps me kind of size up what work do I need. I want to make sure they can't hop over my fence, any creepers or zombies or anything like that. The fence, you just got to make it too high, and then make sure you put half slabs at the very top to prevent the spiders from getting over the roof. This did turn out to be just a little bit too big. I got a creeper spawn a couple of times inside the perimeter, and that was not good. Anyway, it takes a bit of wood, takes a bit of time, but central tower with safe house down below, observation deck and observation wings above, which you'll see in a bit, and I couldn't walk past this slime. I had 3 horses right nearby, and I was like, come on, can't I have just a little bit of fun? Wasn't too risky. I'm like, okay, I got my slime balls, now I can make some leashes. And I can tame some horses. Alright, so you can see that gap there, that's where the that's where we're going to put the hoppers to auto-collect. But I'm just building up this tower. Notice that it's just solid wood. I don't want to have any spaces inside or where I can get problems with enders. So again, everything's a height of 2. You can go 2.5, but you go 3 and you're going to have fun with an ender. And that's no damn good because they hit like a ton of bricks. So I kind of went with deciding to have a side or a central place, so I didn't have to worry about trying to get around the ladder if it's on the side of the thing. And I tried to be a little stylish, but again, you can see I'm using a lot of glass here so that I can see above and below, and I'm not inhibited in any way. And then I lit up the top so nothing would spawn up there. Not a big deal because when I'm here, that top is not more than 24 away from the from my locations. I'm usually 90% of the time I'm standing up here observing. Now I'm making a little fence to guard myself. I ended up adding gates to the sides of the fence, and that worked out pretty good. So a solid fence, nah. Now I'm digging out my collection area underneath. Way overkill on this, except I do need to have access. I wanted to make sure I could access all of the hoppers. So I did that. And then there's my ladder. And I just walled it off. Lit it up real good. And now it's time to start building the observation walkways. They're not really for observation so much as they are if you see an ender out there and you're not aggroing him from your observation port, you want to be able to safely walk out there a ways and pick him up. And that does happen. So, you know, it's nothing more tormenting than to see an ender and not be able to aggro it to bring it back in and kill it. So there you can see I lined up my hoppers all connected to that chest down there, and that's my auto harvest. Now I need to build my access point, because the only way you can access this thing is through the observation deck, and no doors to worry about or any of that stuff. You just walk up a ladder. Make sure that the ladder is, you have to hop up to get it, and that stops the zombies from getting on there. And you saw the half slab on the perimeter to prevent the spiders. And now I'm using glass to finish off the observation walkways. I only built them 1 high, no big deal. If they're too high, you can't aggro them. So you got to be able to hop up on them to aggro the enders sometimes. And that's how it works. And you can see my house off in the distance there. I tried this, I was worried about not being able to see enders in forests and stuff like that, so I thought, well, I could cut down all these forests or I could just burn them down. Burning's way more fun. And there we go, I got an aggro. Just started farming ender pearls. And the goal was to get 22 ender pearls. That would leave me 2 ender pearls and 20 eyes of ender. Oh, damn it. See, that stupid creeper, and I mishandled it, and that's what happens. Yeah, I ended up lighting the outside, and that still wasn't enough. You'd have to really light it up to prevent those spawns. And you can see the reason why birch is such a mistake. Look how light colored it is. It's really hard at night to spot an ender. It gets in the way. So what I was doing was setting my field of vision to 30 degrees. And that got the birch out of the way. But what I later did is I went and harvested a bunch of black oak that I found and replaced pretty much everything that mattered with black oak. Oh, there's my diamond armor. Oh yeah, I'm getting close. I can smell it, man. But I don't want to mess with it right now. I still got iron armor I can use to take damage, and it's not that big of a deal. Another thing I augmented was my worst fear happened. These skeletons were knocking me off and wouldn't let me climb up the ladder. So I added some ladder guards on each side vertically, just a couple of colors. You can see them later. Yeah, when it rains at night, it sucks. You can see that ender running around out there. It's a bummer. Whole wasted night. And at this point, I'm pretty much done building. So, and I don't need any more mats. All I need is a freaking ender farm. You know, so there's the side guards that I put in. And I started adding in stairs and little things like that to make it transition between my home and my ender farm easier, so I could run back and forth easier and didn't have to jump. Yeah, I tamed some horsies. It was so much fun. One thing I learned is feed them a whole bunch and they tame super easy. Look at that. No getting chucked off or nothing. Yay. Yeah. Yeah, I got that sniper duel achievement. That's awesome. That was a first for me. I never got it before. But getting some more flint and arrows and stuff during the day. You can never have too many arrows. It's like you go through quite a few trying to kill the dragon and you know, and take out the ender crystals. So yeah, it's my everything's working good. Built another diamond axe. Just filling out my equipment, almost ready to go. And there, I think, there it is. I got 22 ender pearls. So at this point, I am ready to go. I've got everything I need. So I made 20 eyes of enders, and I got 2 ender pearls. The ender pearls are, when you zone into the end, one of the places you can be is on an island out in the middle of nowhere. Well, you don't want to try and build a bridge. I found out about that the hard way. You won't get one in time before the dragon knocks you off. So there's a list of all the equipment. About what you'd expect. 2 bows. I got 8 stacks of arrows, 20 eyes of ender, 2 ender pearls, a couple stacks of food. You need a lot of food. A pumpkin to wear on your head if you get in a place. Couple stacks of torches. So some of it's for finding the stronghold, you know, the traveling out, that's the building materials and stuff, and the rest of it's for actually fighting the dragon, going to the end and getting business taken care of. Alright, that's all of it. I'm ready to start. And there we go. Launch an ender eye. A lot of times these ender eyes will evaporate or you can't find them, so you want to have overkill. You definitely want to have 12 left over before you go, and 20 is quite a bit, but you know, I didn't want to come out here and be one eye of ender short or something like that. That would be so freaking obnoxious. I got super lucky. I ended up finding the stronghold and I never lost a single ender eye. And that's where it is. It goes into the ground. So I'm like, okay, that's where I'm going to start digging. Make a little tower here just so I know where the stronghold is. If I ever want to find it again, which I probably don't. I'm thinking about doing a hardcore. Obviously, on regular play, you'd want to be able to get back to your stronghold again, because you definitely want to set up that ender farm, but you know, in hardcore you're out to kill the dragon, so you only need to get to the end once, but why not? I dig down in a spiral. In this case, when I happened on a stronghold, there was a big cavern up above it, so I had to kind of do some maneuvering and things, and I could have used my gravel, but I was also worried about mobs, and I found the freaking ender gate real quickly. I was just like, other times, man, I've like gone all over the place looking for the damn thing, and sometimes it can be a big pain, but this time I found it just fine. So there you see, I'm putting the ender eyes, activating the portal. I'm checking out. Now I put that pumpkin right near where I can swap helmets out real fast, and I've got my ender pearls in hand ready to throw before I run through. Here we go. It turned out I started right on the end. I didn't have to jump, so much for the pearls. The other thing that I should have done here fairly quickly that I didn't was to put my food in the fourth slot over so I can get to it real quick and eat, because I got all those 4 hotkeys, so I can do it really fast. I about flipped out here. I was I got knocked down in this hole, and I don't want to look down. I want to keep looking up above the ender so I don't aggro him. And I thought I was going to die here because he was hitting me, getting me full-on hits, and you know, I'm getting damaged. He knocks me down in the hole. I think he got me good one more time. Yeah, I was right here, and look at that. I'm almost freaking dead, and I'm flipping out. So I'm like, okay, look, I'm just going to take this pumpkin off. I'm out. And if I hadn't shot him right there and got him to run away, that would have been the end. That would have been the end. So there it is. You just, after that, it's kind of tedious. You just stay out in the middle, fend off the dragon, knock out the ender crystals. And you go through a lot of arrows, a lot of them. A lot more if you're a bad shot like me. And that's a sound I did not want to hear in the end, but sometimes if you just on a Enderman just real quick a little bit and back, they won't actually aggro, and that was the case there. But so I've knocked out most of the ender crystals, or all of them, and now it's just freaking DPSing the guy down. That's all there is to it. He's getting close. One more hit. Come on. This is it right here. Yeah. I just love that. That sound is so freaking obnoxious and cool. It's scary. And this is rare this time. The dragon egg pit, the return back from the end, it didn't suck me in. It was right there. And I had expected them. The other 2 times I killed the dragon, I accidentally the exit spawned right where I was, so it sucked me right in. So this one I was actually able to grab the dragon egg, and yeah, there it is. That's the proof's in the pudding. You got that dragon egg. There's only one way to get it. Awesome. And I jump through, and the credits roll, and I put them down in the bottom right there so you can watch them, because there's this interesting little spiritual poem when you play hardcore that plays. That's pretty cool. I encourage you to kill the dragon and read it. It's kind of good uplifting thing. And you can see it started me right back. That was where I spawned in, was right there. My house wasn't that far away at all. And of course I came in at night. And that's all the stats. If you want to, you can look at them. But I finished in under 24 hours of gameplay. I took the dragon down. So that was nice. Never got killed by anything. How about that? Okay, so I had to do one little fun thing. I had all these chickens. And you know, me and chickens, we don't like each other. So, I thought I'd blow them up. I had enough gunpowder to make a couple pieces of TNT. So I'm like, yeah, let's do something fun. Oh yeah. Yeah, some chickens were harmed in the making of this. Yeah, let's watch that once more in slow motion, of course. And I think the last little thing that I did was I made a garden. But, oh, come on, chickens. Boom! Look at them all. Oh my god, there was over 100 chickens there. And, look at all that experience. It's hilarious. You go to third-person view and watch it. It's like a cloud of experience points floating around you. You can't see anything. Alright, so I rebuilt the chicken farm. But I wouldn't use it for chickens. If I was going to keep playing, this is where the cows would go. I'd toss them in there. Good as new. And that is that. The only other thing I did was I made a nice little garden for my dragon egg. Right on top of where my flint farm was. I don't need any more flint. I got arrows forever. And you can see the ender farm in the distance and a way too huge sugarcane farm. And that's about all there is to it. So this is Vanderex and another episode of Amish Paradise. Thanks for joining. May you dream of cubes and find a diamond under every rock. Salute.